wanted to introduce you to two characters who epitomize so much of what is going on in China today, because he so much represents the great hope that is there in China. When he was telling me about his new job, he was almost shaking with excitement. I asked the guy who runs the noodle bar, well, so how's life here? The reason he was furious was because the freshwater well here on the Silk Road that had watered man and beast for centuries had been sealed up, and the local officials had sealed it up with concrete. And I said, why on earth did they do that? They said, well, because they own the local water company and they want to force us to buy their water. So just a classic case of very low-level corruption. And so within the space of a day, you come across a guy who is so full of despair and so unempowered by all of this change. And it's this tension between hope and despair that is really tangible. And certainly if you just visit Shanghai, you will just feel pretty hopeful about China.
The biggest thing to me was that the gap between China and America, and urban-wise, is very small. People say, Chinese people who come to America say that it's not different at all. However, the gap between rural China and urban China is getting even more vast, and it's really hard for the people in the rural areas to break into the cities.
The gap has really, really closed between urban China and urban America.
I think his most important point was his last chapter, A Road is Made. I think it's a book in itself, and it's really about where China is to go from here. You know, we know so much about its history and its present point. We know about it from day to day, but you know, what does China in the future have in store for us?
That can be a real problem, because if your legitimacy is solely economic, what happens when the economy tanks?
But I thought it was really interesting how China is not as strong or powerful as we thought they were, and he really showed a lot of things about China that I didn't know in the past.
I thought it was fantastic. I'm from China, and in my life, I've never found an author who quite champions China the way that Robert Gifford does.